Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is communities and brands. So the core of this is how do you market them? So communities are really valuable ways to drive traffic. So if you build a community page, so for example, this one is on holistic living, you can share all kinds of different topics within that umbrella. Just remember, again, Facebook will penalize you if you share things that aren't on brand. For example, if you are a page about camping and you're continuously sharing things about cancer and maybe even real estate, like you will likely get either shut down, get something where they limit your reach, or just have an issue with Facebook. So make sure you pick something that it has a big enough umbrella to cover the topics you want to talk about, or you need to build more than one page. So for example, this one can talk a lot about health and holistic living and lifestyle and fitness and pets and family, and there's a whole bunch of different things they can do. And one of the ways, there's a couple different ways to make money from this approach. One is to, of course, offer products. Another one is to be an affiliate of other products and share them on your page and share them in your content and share them in your blogs and your articles so that you can get sales that way. Another thing to do in this is you can build up a community. I would recommend, if you build up any sort of community, to link it with a Facebook group as well. This is the Facebook group for this particular page as an example. And what Facebook does is it highly prioritizes groups. So if you share a piece of content to your page, you'll get a certain amount of traction. It might be really good traction. You might reach hundreds of thousands of people. But what's interesting is that Facebook really prioritizes what you share to groups. So sharing content over to your groups as well, nurturing them, asking them questions, getting them to comment and engage is a really good way to get your content seen and get Facebook to prioritize it. So I will often have strategies, and in the tactics section, we will go over how to put a piece of content up and then where to share it, what groups to share it with so that you can get more traction. There are groups out there that will let you share content to them as long as you're not trying to sell anything directly in that piece of content. It can be a piece of information that helps nurture and educate people in that particular topic range, and then it drives them potentially to your page and or to your website so that you can get opt-ins and sales. So another thing that a community page like this can do is, again, will build trust, and you can share content and you can share things that will resonate with them and that will interest them and that will be on topic for them, and then you can drive them to your website where you can make money. So there's a lot of opportunity to get opt-ins and do email marketing if you build a community page. Okay, so here's another example of a community page. This one is entertainment and educational, and we share things that are like inspirational feelings and quotes and ways to engage the audience to get them to comment and participate in the content. We also share information that might be valuable to this particular demographic, and then it links directly to the group where people join. There's content being shared in here, and some of it, may be more on brand than other pieces of content, but really there's community feeling, there's community rules, there's a place for people to hang out and talk and share more information. So it's just a nice way to add a personal touch, and like I said, Facebook will really prioritize it. Plus there's a lot of advantages to, if you go live on your community page and you sell stuff, and then you go live in your community group and sell stuff, that you're much more likely to get a higher conversion rate inside the group than inside the page. So oftentimes when we set up a funnel for someone, we build up a lot of traction on the front end of their page organically by sharing really engaging content that people are going to share. I like to call it, super shareable content or engaging content. And then from there, we drive traffic to their opt-in, their website, and then also drive traffic to building a solid group and a solid community, create a nice community feel inside of that group, and then from there, get people to purchase or participate in the program that you are selling. Another thing I want to talk about is brands. So on social media, you can definitely take advantage of brand marketing. So again, using and building a community, making sure they understand that you know them. This is a really interesting product. It is a superfood company for dogs. And what I love about their approach is that they don't ever call a dog a pet. You are a pet parent, but that is not your pet. That is a member of your family. They get to be a part of your life and experience, and they share all kinds of content that really gets people to engage with them. So they do, questions of the day and things like that, like share a gift, share a photo. Here's content that educates, and then, just really helps them know that you understand and are with them on the journey of being a pet parent. So they share content from all over the web, and in addition to their own content, to just really make sure that their audience knows that they know them. Now, why would you do that? That this might be a question of yours. Why would you share content from other pages? Well, sometimes content doesn't get very good clicks. Sometimes it does. So if you share a piece of content from another blog that you know most of the information is in the frame, it's very unlikely it'll get many clicks. And so this is actually what we will use this kind of tactic all the time for engagement, where we will share a trending video or a trending article from another place, as long as I will show you how to find out if it's compliant. But basically what it'll do is you'll get a lot of engagement, you'll get a lot of shares, comments, people interacting with it, as you can see, but it doesn't necessarily drive a lot of traffic. If it does have a potential, if you see of it driving a lot of traffic, I would recommend doing your own version of that piece of content, and we will go over that in the article and framing sections. So as you can see, they can also put up offers and things that are going on sales wise, and this is all organic strategy that supports media buyer strategy. So for this particular brand, they are doing ads, and they will pixel you if you go to their blog. So what that means is, like, if someone clicks on a piece of content and goes to their actual website, they will get retargeted with ads, and it will actually make it a little bit easier for someone to actually purchase this, because they already have some familiarity, they've already built some trust, they feel like that this brand understands them, they understand their dog, their lifestyle, and they can really make a big difference that way. Here's another brand that is selling, again, superfoods, but for humans. And what's great about this page is that there's a community feeling around it. They share a lot of recipes. They, do a lot of playful things with video. They, have blog articles that use their ingredients and really promote healthy living. And they have, 4 superfoods for joint pain here in a video, and they show it being used out in the world. So it's a nice brand page. It's very clean. They use text videos to show what they're doing. And what's great about these kinds of stuff is, we're going to go over this more in the tactics section, but there is software out there that you can make videos like this fairly simply without having to have, not having to shoot all of the B-roll here. So you don't even have to own a camera to make beautiful content and really get your message out there. You can actually repurpose your blog articles and text videos just like this. And we're going to show you that in the tactics section. So this is a tactic that is very effective for getting traction, especially on some of our bigger pages. It gets a lot of reach, and then on our small pages, it helps build community. So it's a really good way to build traction. Basically, brands and communities are really good ways to get leads, so drive traffic so that you can have opt-ins, capture emails. It's a good way to promote and sell products. It's a really great way to educate people about products and ingredients. So if you have a certain type of product, if there are ingredients to it, or maybe a story around why you made it, you can use social media to educate people about those particular things so that they know. It's like sometimes you do need to create your own demand just a little bit. If you have something that's super niche or cutting edge or ahead of its time, using social media, you can create a lot of traction around it. And then leveraging a little bit of community building in Facebook groups and stuff like that can really go a long way and help you find your niche, find your community, see the types of people that are in there. Also, what's great about a lot of pages is that now they have things where you have top fans that'll come up. So you're like, hey, this person's a top fan of mine, so is this person, which means they engage with my content a lot. And what's fantastic is, if you don't know your demographic really well, first of all, I want you to know that Facebook is very private. You cannot see anything. Facebook doesn't give you any extra privileges for the privacy of that person to see who is, anything that these people do privately. But anything that they post publicly, you can see, you can look at, and you can get an idea. I don't do this very often, but occasionally I will come in if I feel like I just don't really understand a page. I will look at it and go, okay, so this looks like it's mostly women, and you just kind of get a feel of their vibe by looking at their photo. You can technically click on their profile and you can see kind of a feel for what they post publicly, but it's more about just understanding, who's engaging, what are they saying, really listening to them. Also, if you go to your insights, you can go to people, and this is a good way to just get a glimpse of it. So you're like, oh wow, okay, so over 1 million of their followers are in the United States. That's a fantastic audience. Then you have Canada and Australia, United Kingdom. This is a very solid audience base. These other countries are fantastic. They're just marketed too differently. So understanding, where your audience is hanging out. Looks like they hang out, there's a lot of big cities involved. You have mostly women, 81% women, mostly between the ages of 35 and 64. So this is the demographic of people on your Facebook page. Now, your demographics for this exact following may be different on your blog, and it may be different on your on your Instagram. So just know that where you are putting your message out there may attract different types of people and different age groups. And so you may want to change your messaging up a little bit from place to place to make sure you're attracting the right type of person.